The time has come yet again for BMW to update its tried and true original SUV for 2024. It may not be as fun to drive as the Porsche Cayenne, nor as effortlessly smooth as the Genesis GV80, but the 2024 X5 blends traits from both of those to create an agreeable and luxurious middle ground. From the outset, it's clear that the X5 is going for broad appeal. A good proportion of SUVs within Mercedes-Benz lineup are undergoing a refresh this year. All new since 2020, the GLE doesn't radically change for 2024 model year, but there are updates to nearly every aspect of the vehicle. Always a segment benchmark, do these updates keep the GLE near the front of the pack, or has the competition caught up? Well, in this video we will compare both SUVs' designs inside and out, pricing and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Even before the announcement, it was clear that the X5 would have gotten a substantial change all around. At the front, the new headlights are slimmer with arrow-shaped DRL indicators. The lower section of the fascia now features a more prominent bumper with chrome trim matching the shape of the air intakes on the sides. The situation didn't change much at the side profile. The refreshed model has the same overall profile and lines, and dependent on the trim level, there will be new wheel designs as well as different trim for the front fenders and the side skirts. Same goes for the back. The overall shape remains unchanged, though the taillights now get fiber optic lights in a new X-shaped motif with a more visible 3D effect. Everything else seems to be carried over from the pre-facelift model without tweaks. As for the GLE, the changes are less evident and are almost exclusive to the front. The horizontal bar in the grille now has a segmented look thanks to some chrome squares. The corner intakes gain a large chrome accent, and while the headlights are the same size and shape as the outgoing model, there are new horizontal elements inside. Softly contoured bumpers, sweep and rear quarter windows that blend into the hatch glass, and a rounded greenhouse give the GLE a sleeker and less boxy profile than that of the X5. AMG Line's packages trapezoidal grille, aggressive bumper vents, and glass block body inserts help toughen up the gentle overall design. At the back, the taillights get the same slimmer horizontal elements as the front, but everything else remains pretty much unchanged. Jumping inside, the cabin is where most of the significant changes are happening. The steering wheel is new, and we also notice a different dashboard as a result of the new dual-screen layout. The seat design, meanwhile, stays untouched. The cabin is lined with high-quality materials, and depending on the options chosen, a long list of luxury features. Massaging seats, soft closed doors, acoustic glass, a leather dashboard, and heated front armrests and steering wheel can make the X5 feel like a high-end luxury SUV, but adds a lot of cost to the bottom line. As for infotainment, you are faced with a curved wall of display screens that span 2/3 of the dashboard. A 12.3-inch GAU display and a larger 14.9-inch touchscreen provides access to BMW's iDrive interface. The X5 originally launched with iDrive 8, but will be updated to iDrive 8.5. Users can also control the system via a rotary knob on the center console. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both standard, as is wireless charging and a 5G Wi-Fi hotspot. As for the GLE, the updates are a bit more noticeable inside. There is a new steering wheel with similar touch controls as found in other Mercedes products like the C-Class. Although physical buttons are better, one can get used to them and they actually feel more responsive in the GLE. The rest of the interior features updated trim bits like the chrome surrounds on the air vents and piano black dash finish with vertical silver lines running through it. The center console features chunky grab handles that recall the GLE's off-road heritage. Materials are good, and the overall design looks modern, sophisticated, and most importantly, properly expensive. Behind the wheel are a pair of 12.3-inch screens, one for the driver information and the other for the infotainment system. The latter features the second generation of Mercedes' MBUX system and can operate with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. When updates are available, they can be done over the air now as well. As for passenger and cargo space, the X5 seats are soft with solid bolstering and plenty of space in every direction for the front passengers. Climb into the second row and you will be just as comfortable as the front with plenty of head and leg room, plus you get heated seats too. The suspension provides a smooth ride without sacrificing body control or subjecting passengers to floaty motions. As for cargo space, it boasts the second best cargo space in the class with a healthy 33.9 cubic feet. With the second row folded, you get 72.3 cubes. To the surprise of no one, the Mercedes GLE is a pretty comfortable SUV with a serene highway ride and more than enough room for 4 adults and their stuff. The front passengers enjoy a class-leading 39.6 inches of legroom up front. Jump into the back and you find that the rear passengers enjoy even more legroom than those up front at 40.9 inches. Both rows are very comfortable, thanks in part to the optional airmatic suspension with air springs and adaptive dampers. As for cargo capacity, it boasts a slightly smaller space than the X5 at 33.3 cubic feet. However, with the second row folded, it surpasses it at 74.9 cubes. When it comes to pricing, to get a 2024 X5, you will be paying a premium. The base S-Drive 40i model starts at $66,200, which is almost $3,500 more than the base Mercedes GLE. Next is the plug-in hybrid X-Drive 50e at around $73,500 and M6 Ti at $90,300. If you want the M competition, then you will have to shell out over $120,000. As for Mercedes, the 2024 GLE 350 4MATIC starts at $63,700 and comes standard with all-wheel drive, LED headlights and taillights, and 18-inch alloy wheels. The GLE 450 is $70,500. If you want the plug-in hybrid, then opt for the GLE 450e. Or if you want the most performance, then the GLE 580 4MATIC with its bi-turbo V8 is the one for you. Pricing for both is yet to be released. When it comes to performance and handling, while the twin-turbocharged V8 and the X-Drive 50i is the best when it comes to pure power, the reality is that it will represent a very modest number of X5 sales. The 6-cylinder X-Drive 40i is the volume model, and it's all you'll ever need. This is as good as the V8, but with none of its excess. Power from the 3-liter turbo is ample. The X5 and its standard 8-speed automatic uses what's available well, taking a reasonable 5.3 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour. Low and mid-range torque are particularly impressive, and while it doesn't feel all that happy at high engine speeds, it at least sounds good. This 6-cylinder is all too willing to sing under heavy throttle, but it mostly shuts up in everyday conditions. Like road and wind noise, the X5 doesn't allow the 3-liter song to get into the cabin unless its driver is really on the throttle. And you know what? With one less layer of technology in the way, the X5 is kind of fun to toss around. It's not as plainly agile as a Porsche Cayenne, but BMW's poise and handling polish are on full display in the X5. Roll is predictable and controlled, there is even some useful feedback through the chassis, it feels incredibly balanced and willing to rotate if you push it. As for Mercedes, you will want to get the GLE 450 with its 3-liter inline-6. The single-turbo engine is tuned to produce 362 horsepower and 369 pound-feet, with an EQ boost system providing smoother engine idle stop and faster throttle response thanks to an integrated starter generator. This little electric motor helps find the small gaps in power delivery before the turbo has spooled up or during gear changes, for example, keeping engine behavior slick and predictable. The rest of the dynamic experience feels similarly grown up, albeit not as athletic as the BMW X5's. The GLE 450 is not an especially sporty SUV, but it does roll along with a sense of solidity that feels entirely appropriate for Mercedes-Benz. The standard 9-speed automatic transmission shifts unobtrusively at regular speeds, yet quickly when haste is required. The brake pedal is firm, with ample stopping power. Steering weight also has a satisfying heft to it, and although there is little direct feedback, the GLE turns well considering its size and weight. Lateral grip is impressive, the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system has no difficulty finding traction, and it resists understeer well, with only the combination of tight corners and slippery conditions causing its front end to push wide. So, which one should you choose? Well, I think it's rather simple. If you appreciate driving engagement above all else, then the BMW X5 is the one for you. But if all you care about is luxury and you want to save some money, then the GLE is a great choice too.